In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the Endless Stationery Storyboard Pocket Farm Edition notebooks. I'll go over the specs, I will do a paper test, and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about these notebooks coming up. Blake here with Blake's Broadcast. On this channel, I review fountain pens, paper, and ink, and as always, I put links in the show notes in the description below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out my channel. All right, let's get on with the review. These are Endless Stationery Storyboard Pocket Farm Edition notebooks. This is the second of the Storyboard quote-unquote edition notebooks. Each edition has a different theme. This is specifically the farm. And if you look at their website, which I'll link in the description below, you can see a description of the concept for this particular series of notebooks. But briefly, we can see here on the back, it says, "The dreams you sow, the reality you reap." And again, brought to you by Endless, and these are made in India. They're thread bound. It's a saddle stitch just down the middle of the notebook. 3.5 by 5.9 inches and 90 GSM ink loving paper. Now, they're not calling this Regalia paper, but I believe that is what it is. I'm not sure why they don't specifically say that on here. Looking at the cover here, we can see basically two of the same scene, but different seasons. It's cool. I like the concept. They're not my style, but the concept of them is cool. I like that. Now, they both have 5mm dot grids, and it's a light gray dot grid, not really intrusive. The construction, again, as with most Endless products, it's okay. It's not great. So this is the saddle stitch, and they just, I don't know, the machine that they use really just punched super hard into this, and you kind of have this rough feeling down the middle. You'll also see there's sort of like some separation here where they're not perfectly stitched. You can see the seam more up top of the notebook, and then it kind of disappears down into the notebook. It's just not that great. If we compare it to, this is a Masubi pocket notebook, which uses a Speakabond paper. It's really nice. This is their saddle stitch, and it's so much cleaner. There are fewer stitches on this than this, but there's no damage to the paper, whereas this, they really just punched super hard holes into the book here. In terms of usability, we do see this separation here, and if I pull on this, they're just going to come straight out. So again, this is just sort of typical Endless quality. Now, in terms of the pricing, it's $8.95 for two, which makes it a little bit, just a hair more expensive than a typical Field Notes. Now, I definitely think that these are better than Field Notes. The paper is a lot better. And using the Regalia paper for a second time, I did the Endless Observer notebook review. I'll put a link to that up in the corner. I did not like the paper then. This, I don't know if this is a different batch. This paper is actually really good, and I really like the paper. So let's go to the writing sample here. Now, if we look at the face of it, we do see some problems with the Pilot parallel pens. You can see some bleeding or some feathering, and you can sort of see damage to the coating. This is a coated paper with the two Pilot parallel pens. The other normal fountain pens look really good. No issues there. We get some nice sheening from this Andrewilium spirula, I think it is, green ink, feathering on the 1.5mm Auto Fude ball, and a little bit on the Pilot high-tech point. The rest of the pens look really good. Even the Troublemaker pens look good on the front. Now, if we go to the back here, we can see the Copic came through, but not too badly. This is actually very good performance for a Copic alcohol marker. Then when we look at the back, we do see a ton of bleeding on the 3mm Pilot parallel. This is a more wet pen. In terms of the other pens, I do see just a fair, like very faint spotting on the Pelikan M600 Broad. You could absolutely use that pen both sides of this paper, no problem. And the rest of the fountain pens look really, really good. And most of the other pens, even like the Auto Fude Ball, where I did see a little bit of feathering, you can see it's trying to come through just a little bit, but it doesn't fully penetrate the paper. You could absolutely write on both sides of the paper with that pen. Pilot High Tech Point, we did see more bleeding, the Sharpie, the Staedtler Lumo Color, and the oil drawing pen. Although for the Troublemaker pens, I would say that this performance is pretty good. So overall, I think this is a very fountain pen friendly paper. I like this as an alternative to Field Notes. This is definitely better for fountain pens than Field Notes and is worth the little extra money. Construction quality is not very good. This one is a little bit more even, but they just absolutely, whatever they're doing with their sewing machine is super hard on this paper. Overall, I do actually like this, and I want to try more endless notebooks with the Regalia paper, because it seems like the first batch that I had was quite bad, and this is actually quite nice. So what are my pros and cons for the Storyboard Pocket Farm Edition notebooks? Well, I like the concept. I do like these themed notebooks that come out in, different editions. I think that's a fun way to do notebooks, and at $8.95 for a set of 2, it's an affordable, fun way to enjoy stationery. So I really like that. I think the concept here is really good. I've been very happy with the Regalia paper in this. It's better than the Regalia paper I tested in the Observer notebook a while ago. So in terms of cons, the biggest issue, which is the same issue I have with all Endless products, build quality is not very good. The stitching that they did in here, it is like the machine needs to be turned down, like the power. It's just blowing holes in the notebook to the point where one of them is even separating. The quality is just not really there. The cuts on the edges of this is not super clean. It's the same story with every Endless notebook I've come across. Now, I do think that for $8.95, it's not a bad value. They are better than Field Notes. I don't know if they're actually more durable than Field Notes, but that's pretty much it. Do you guys have this notebook? Do you like these notebooks? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more fountain pen, paper, and ink videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, and until next time.